I'm Kaitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast,
where two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
We're back with another drama!
Yay!
Bam, bam, bam.
Whoop, whoop.
So last week we had a lot of fun recapping
Along with the Gods.
The Two Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
With Rebecca from the Case for Drama podcast. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't listened to that, check it out.
And then listen to her pod.
Yeah.
Where we're supposed to be on an episode.
Yes. I think by the time this comes out, we will have already been on it.
I think so.
So.
Someone on Facebook also said they loved that episode. Or like the one that we posted with Rebecca. And that we really need to see episode or part 2 of this movie. And I was like, I think we will.
Yes.
Because we enjoyed it.
Definitely.
I want to know what happens.
And it kind of like ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So
I want to know.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to that vengeful spirit?
I know.
And they talk about vengeful spirits.
Yes.
I feel like that was a great primer.
Yes,
for
it really was.
Show
Yeah.
we're about to. So yeah, we're gonna go into Hotel de Luna.
Yay!
A very hyped drama around the interwebs. I guess I'll just get into the plagiarizing Wikipedia.
Do it.
So
at least you're citing them.
Yes. I did not write this. I'm merely reading it. So Wikipedia says Hotel de Luna, in Korean it's Hotel de Luna. Hotel de Luna. De Luna. Is a 2019 South Korean television series starring Lee Ji-eun, which her stage name is IU, and Yo Jin-gu as the owner and manager, respectively, of the eponymous, is that how you...
I think so, yeah.
I don't think I've ever said that word aloud. A hotel that caters only to ghosts. Written by the Hong sisters.
Who are the Hong sisters?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I did not write this.
I just saw that and was like, who's that?
You're like, I like the name.
Two sisters, okay.
Maybe we should see what else they wrote.
Yeah, I'm interested.
I just clicked the link.
While that's loading, do you believe in ghosts? It is October 2nd, y'all.
Oh my god.
Does Kaitlin believe in ghosts?
Okay. Yes and no. I have complicated thoughts on ghosts. Because I have complicated thoughts on what happens after you die. But I do feel like there are weird cosmic phenomenon.
Weird occurrences.
I feel like ghosts could be real. But I also feel like...
But maybe not like how they're portrayed.
Right.
Typically.
Or... Yeah, I feel like there's something going... I feel like weird things happen. I don't know if they're ghosts. I'm definitely not ruling out ghosts. I'm not afraid of ghosts.
I just don't like the idea of there being a ghost in this room watching, like, every stupid thing we do. Or, like, when you're alone, and you're just, like, fucking
sometimes
laying around with, like, your fucking legs up in the air watching TV and, like, acting all stupid. And you think you're alone and there's some ghost. Like, what a fucking weirdo. A ghost that's judging you.
I don't go that far into it. I'm just not afraid of ghosts. Like, I don't think they would hurt me or anything like that. I had a coworker who said that either her or her daughter, I think it was her and her daughter saw her. To me, I think she just experienced sleep paralysis and like an extreme nightmare. But basically she had a dream where I think it was like the ghost of someone she knew had like pinned her to her bed.
Oh, a vengeful spirit.
Yes. And like she couldn't move. And like she like couldn't breathe and stuff. And then her daughter came in and like the ghost went away, but she had like, according to her, she had scratch marks on her arm of like where the person was holding her down. And I'm like, I don't know about that. That sounds like sleep paralysis.
That does, yeah. Not being able to move or feeling something heavy.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you my sister's creepy story?
No.
I've never had like a weird creepy story, but my sister did. Apparently when my sister was like really young and getting her communion, my parents didn't have money to get her a dress, and so they borrowed one from like one of my mom's cousins, and her daughter had died, and her daughter was the one who owned that dress, like wore it for her communion, and my sister put it on and immediately got sick and kept throwing up. And then she took the dress off and she was fine.
Okay. I have a similar, not a similar story, not at all, but I have a story that's really weird. So my aunt Okay, so my mom had a brother, but he passed away when they were really young. Like, I think he passed away when he was, like, 8 years old. In, like, a freak accident. But my aunt, so my mom's younger sister, was, like, really good at drawing. And so they had, like, a bunch of portraits that she drew in their house. And she drew a portrait of the little brother. It's actually her older brother.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, so when I was really young, like 5 or younger, I would point at the picture and I would say, like, I know him. And they would be like, no, you never met Uncle Jeff. Like, he passed away before you were born.
I think it's something, but you tell your story.
And then I was like, no, like, I played with him. He's my friend. I played with him. And they were like, no, you didn't. And they were like, when did you meet him? At school? And I was like, and then apparently I said, no, I played with him before I came to live with you.
That's weird.
I know.
Why would you say that?
I know. And so they were like, what do you mean? And I said, in heaven before I came to live with you. I played with him. And they were like, what the fuck?
You're weird, Kaitlin.
I know, I'm like a little alien.
Yeah, I had like a vivid memory of being at my mom's dad's funeral. And like seeing him, because you know, like a lot of times they're in the fucking casket and it's open and it's uncomfortable. But I like remember being little and seeing him. But like my mom was like, no, because you weren't even like born then. Like I think I was in my mom's womb at that time.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I was like, no, like I remember walking up to it and like seeing it. I was like, no.
You saw through them.
Yeah, I saw her through her stomach. Stupid.
So yeah, weird stuff like that happens. Anyway.
Ghosts.
The Hong
That's
sisters.
What this is about. Go ahead.
So the Hong sisters. Oh, so they have written quite a few television shows. They are, again, according to Wikipedia, Hong Jong-un and Hong Mi-ran, born 1974 and 1977, respectively, collectively known as the Hong sisters, are South Korean TV screenwriters. Together they have written popular romantic comedies, notably My Girl, You're Beautiful, My Girlfriend is a Nine-Tailed Fox, which I hear is very good, The Greatest Love, Master's Son, Hwa Yugi, and Hotel de Luna.
All right.
Yeah, so they've lived.
Yeah, they've done stuff.
Again, according to Wikipedia, Hotel de Luna aired on TVN from July 13th to September 1st. It is the 8th highest rated Korean drama in cable television history.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, number 1, in case y'all are wondering, Sky Castle. Number 2, Reply 1988. Number 3, Goblin or Guardian, The Great Lonely God. 4, Mr. Sunshine. 100 Days My Prince. Really? I need to watch that, even if it's on those like weird porno sites. Number 6, Signal. Yeah. I thought A Strong Girl Bong Soon's number 17.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Descendants.
Yeah, it was like higher up here.
There's Romance. Romance is above Descendants.
The K2. This list is...
Is this right?
I don't know, right, Wikipedia. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Shall we go into the app? Or...
Yeah, well, just like... Whatever. Gut reaction. How are you feeling about the series?
I like it.
I do too. I like
that it's a little spooky.
It is a little spooky, and I feel like the characters are like a good change of pace. So, because I feel like again, like we said, Search WW wasn't boring.
No.
But it wasn't exciting.
No, exactly.
And this is like exciting. Like the characters, like it's really unpredictable.
Fun story.
Yeah.
All right. How are you feeling? Into it?
I am very into it.
Okay, cool.
I have like a huge crush on IU. Like, so she also does K-pop stuff, and I just find her to be like very charming and very cute.
She's making me want like super long hair.
Yeah.
With the wispy bangs.
She also has her own YouTube channel. And
cool.
I've watched some of her YouTube videos. Apparently, like, a lot of K-pop and K-drama people are just making their own YouTube channel where they, like, do vlogs. And, like...
Might as well.
Yeah. And I have subscribed to a fair few. And they are very entertaining.
Nice.
So, Anyway, shout out to her. I love her, and I want to be her. Anyway, let's get into it.
Okay. Episode 1. Ep 1 starts in a field. And you're like, what?
Yes.
IU is with a horse, with a cart carrying a coffin.
Or what we think is a coffin.
Looks like a coffin. It's rectangular in shape. Looks like it can fit a body.
Mm-hmm.
She's in a super old-timey soldier-looking garb, and then we cut to some soldiers that find her scarf as, like, it flies away wistfully, kind of like in Descendants. It's that same sort of, like, fly-away moment. So they find her scarf, and it starts to running. That transitions to a hawk that goes to camp. It's a whole, like, kind of mess of things. And at this point, I'm like, what year does this take place?
Yeah, it's kind of, like, very intense. And it's one of those
it
weird,
just
like...
jumps into it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to compare it to all of the ads that I had seen of them, like, in modern clothes, like, in suits and shit. And I was like, what's happening? So she's, like, on her way. She meets an old woman, and the woman gives her water/alcohol and starts asking her a bunch of questions. And IU asks about an inn where deceased souls go. And the old woman tells her about the Inn of the Moon and tells her only wandering souls go there. The old woman can see the ghost that IU has brought with her, and IU is desperate to go to this inn and even threatens to kill herself when she sees the soldiers. She also threatens to kill the woman. She's, like, holding the sword up to her.
Yeah, she has, like, a temper.
Yeah.
It seems like she's seen some stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, gives no shits.
Yeah. So, yeah, the soldiers come running up on their horses, and then as they are running up to her, they turn into ghosts. And then we get a sort of flashback that she had already killed all of them. And we realize that IU is already dead. And
Question mark?
Yeah, possibly. It seems.
It's very confusing.
It seems like everyone is dead. Like, is
Yeah.
that woman even alive? That old woman? I don't know. But yeah, like, everyone appears dead, including her. And she has now found the whole hotel. And we hear the old lady's voice call her arrogant and how now it is time to pay her debt. And then a tree swallows her sword, and the inn gets built out of nowhere, and you have all of these, like, chunks of the inn getting put together, and it looks really, like, weird and elaborate in terms of, like, CGI and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, it's a very weirdly intense beginning to a drama.
Yeah.
Like, it just plops you in, and I'm like, I don't know what this universe is like.
Who are these people?
Yeah.
And as the hotel's being built, it reminded me of, like, a Harry Potter scene.
Yes.
Or something. Like, someone just did, like, and then, like, everything started getting built. They did their little magic spell.
Yeah, that's
that
what
was
Alex
my magic
said,
spell.
too.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, are they just, like, doing Harry Potter? And I was like, I don't think so.
That's funny. So the inn gets built, and the old lady is with IU's horse and cart, and she says that the inn has found a new owner, and she opens the box, and then we see a bunch of, like, random possessions, and she tells the ghosts to come with her, and, like, they all turn into fireflies, it seems. And they're, like, twinkling in the light, and, like, following along with the cart.
Very confusing.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. So then, we flash forward to 1998.
And Andrew and I were like, what? That's random.
I know.
What a random year.
Alex was like, so does the show take place in 1998? And I was like, no. And I told him, like, basically what's going to happen. But he was like, how do you know all this? And I was like, well, I read the synopsis, and I know how K-dramas work, so I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. He was also very confused by 1998.
Why that year?
Yeah. So, we flash forward to 1998. We see a dad apologizing to his son for not being able to buy jjajangmyeon, again, like the black noodles, for the kid's birthday. The kid returns dropped money, so an old couple was walking by them, they drop money, he returns it, and they run into the old lady that was at the beginning of the show, that called IU's character arrogant. But now she's like an old lady that sells flowers by the river.
Instead of alcohol.
Yeah. She tells the boy that he will have a good future, even though his childhood will be a little miserable. And she basically tells him, like, he's putting in all of his hard times now, so he'll have a good life later on, even though, like, his dad kind of sucks. And the boy seems like he's a good kid. He seems like a sweet boy. So, later on, a woman who drowned comes out of the water as a ghost and looks at the full moon. We then cut to the hotel, and IU's character is looking very glamorous. I love her already. so much. A hotel manager guy comes to tell IU that it's the full moon, so guests will be coming. And IU's character is, like, annoyed and kind of bitchy. And they turn on the sign, and the hotel, like, grows bigger again, like Harry Potter. Like,
massive. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous how big it is.
Yeah. So the dad from earlier is running away from the cops after stealing a cash register. And again, I think the boy even tells the dad, like, you don't have to buy me anything.
Yeah,
like,
he does.
He says, I just want flowers. Like, you can pick me flowers. It's fine. Anyway, he's running away after stealing a cash register. He falls down some stairs, but then he gets up and he's like, whoa, I could have died. But he keeps running and then finds the Hotel de Luna. He sees the ghost of the woman who drowned walk by and check into the hotel. So,
and she's all, like, sopping wet, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't find that weird at all.
She looks a little scary. But yeah, I guess he's like, no judgments, whatever.
I mean, he stole a fucking cash register, so.
Yeah.
The dad walks in because he wants to go into hiding. And he goes up the elevator and he's completely amazed because this place is incredible. He runs into the drowned ghost again, but he doesn't realize she's dead, even though she's fucking gray and purple.
Yeah, and her, like, lips are black.
Yeah, she looks, like, totally out of it. And then we see that he's bleeding from Then we see he's bleeding from his head. And we cut back to his body lying in the street. His fingers are moving, but, like, his leg is all fucked. He just looks like a mess on the floor. Like, he looks like he's basically dead. And at this point, I got flashbacks of Along with the Gods. The moment when he jumps out of the window with the girl.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, thank him, please. And it's like, no, because he's dead.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this dude's fucking dead, too. I'm seeing a lot of parallels between this show and that movie. But yeah, his fingers are still moving, so we can assume he's okay-ish at the moment.
He's clinging to life.
Yes. The manager and the bellboy see him, and the manager says, hey, like, that guy's alive. And then that they need to find him and escort him out, because that place is for ghosts, not humans.
Yeah, and they're like, I think they comment on how, like, if IU's character finds out, like, she'll
flip shit.
Yeah, she'll get really pissed off.
The dad keeps wandering around, trying to hide, and he tries to steal a vase that has a gold snake on it, and then he kind of picks it up, and I think he decides, no, like, never mind.
I think he says, like, I'll come back for you
Yes,
later.
that's right. And then once he puts it down and walks away, this fucking little snake, like, comes to life and slithers down. It's like, I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you.
You tried to steal me, I'm gonna get you. He keeps wandering, but gets uncomfortable when hotel employees greet him.
Yeah, he keeps trying to hide.
Yeah, not very good at it.
No.
He's not a good criminal.
No. Just be there for your boy.
Yep. Like, maybe instead of stealing stuff, you should be at home with him.
Yeah.
I don't know, on his birthday.
I mean, I'm no parent, but...
I don't know.
So the hotel employees meet up and talk about how they need to get rid of the dad, or he will die, and IU will be very upset. They remember how last time she threatened to send them to the afterlife, and how none of them want that. She walks by the vase with the snake missing and knows that a thief is in the hotel and is super pissed, but in, like, a very dry way. Like, she's very conceited / condescending / whatever. Sassy? I don't know. She's all
she's
the
a
things.
Little bit of everything.
Yeah. So the dad stumbles across the tree that came up when IU became the owner of the hotel. He goes to pick a flower from it, but then, like, gets thrown back with the force of the tree. Or IU.
Something
I don't
happens.
know. Yeah. He gets thrown back with force. And IU's character comes to him. She threatens to kill him / let him die by keeping him in the hotel, and tells him that he's dying anyway. He begs for his life since he has a son, and she tells him that she'll save him if he promises to be a good father and raise the son well, and then give her the son in 20 years, and he agrees.
Father award.
I know, like, I mean, I feel like maybe if you're a parent, you want to be there for your kid, so you just agree to anything. Because he's even like, well, I'm going to go back on the promise.
Yeah, and at one point he says something like, he doesn't have anyone, like it's just him and his son, and there wouldn't be anyone for his son. So on the one hand, I'm like, okay, yeah, your son will be, like, totally parentless.
Yeah,
seems.
You don't want him to be an orphan.
But also, like, to just straight up give up your son when he's, like, in his 20s.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I know. I mean, that's kind of a hard decision to make, but...
Oh, wow.
So the dad wakes up in the hospital, and his son is crying because...
Ugly crying.
Yeah, I mean, it's Korean
It's bad.
drama.
It's bad.
Well, also, yeah, the kid thinks his dad, presumably his only parent, has died, because we keep getting flashback or like cutscenes of the dad in present time, like in the hospital or like with the cops or whatever, and like he's basically dead at this point. But then he wakes up out of nowhere. Like the doctors have already left the
like this guy's a goner.
Yeah, and so everyone's like, the fuck. So they see, I guess after the dad and the son have checked out of the hospital, they see a memorial of the woman who drowned. She was a police officer, and the guy was like, was this all real? Because he recognizes her as the woman from the hotel. We cut to the deceased police officer with IU's character, and IU tells her that she was a good person, so she'll get a limo to the afterlife.
Yay.
I know. The cop tells her that she can't go until they catch the person that killed her. IU tells her that she'll have to pay if she wants to help, and the cop is like, I got money. It's fine.
I got you.
Yeah, so basically IU's character is saying, like... So I guess the whole point of the hotel, and I think maybe we'll get into it a little later, but... It's basically, like, the souls can stay there until they're ready to go to the afterlife. So some people are ready to go, like, right away, but others have, like, unfinished. Yeah. And she's like, it's not... And she tells them, like, it's not good to, like, become a vengeful spirit. And, like, we have to, like, wrap things up quickly. And, like, I can't do certain things, and I can only do certain things of this, and this. But she looks, like, delighted to get revenge on people.
Oh, yeah.
So
she's ready.
Uh-huh.
Assuming she gets paid.
Yes, she has to get paid.
And then at this point we cut to a press conference assembly thing. Because when the police officer's talking to her, she says something like, the police can't catch this person.
Oh, yeah.
They can't get him. So, like, I have to do it. So it cuts to this conference, and it's between the mayor and a CEO. So the CEO is getting an award, but then everyone hears, like, this deafening feedback, and the mics and cameras all get fucked and stop working. Then IU comes in like a badass. She's in like this amazing gown and hat and this fancy looking shotgun. All these cool angles on her, and like everyone's trying to fix the cameras. The cameras can't see her. Everything's fucked in this place. And we realize that the only person that can see her coming is the mayor, and he's like, that fucking woman's got a gun. That woman's got a gun.
Do you recognize the mayor? He's from Bongsoon.
He's from Bongsoon. Off the top of my head, no.
He's toothless /
Ew. Okay, I can see that. I can see that now.
Toothless / I forget the other character's name.
The bratty one. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the only one that can see her. And he's flipping shit. She, like, aims the gun at him. He doesn't even, like, move. He's just staring at her, pointing.
Yeah, he's like, she's got a gun. She's got a gun.
And everyone's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
So she shoots him. And he, like, keels over, and he's screaming that he got shot. And we realize that he didn't actually get shot. And everyone's like, what do you mean you got shot? And he starts flipping out, and he starts yelling at the CEO person because he turns around. He sees the ghost of the policewoman, and he's like, I took care of you. I thought you took care of her. And he's, like, yelling at the CEO, like, basically saying, like, you were supposed to kill her. You were supposed to get rid of this policewoman. And I think now at this point the cameras are working. Yeah. And so everyone's catching everything, and everyone's like, hands on mouths and freaked out.
It looks like he's had a nervous breakdown or something, because, like we said, like, no one can see IU. So it just looks like he's just lost his mind.
For having this woman killed.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, like, when she shoots him, I almost thought that it was going to lead to a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought would have been cool. Like, a cool way for him to, like, get killed without actually being from her, you know? Like, her shot penetrated somehow and, like, caused a heart attack versus an actual shot or whatever. But I think it just, like, made him flip out.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool touch, too, because it's not like she actually did anything to him.
Yeah, she just scared him enough to...
Yeah.
Well, the two of them scared him.
Yeah.
Very really cool. The manager of the hotel brings IU diamonds that the policewoman confiscated and hid in a locker. And she's really excited because it's a big old pile of them. But he ends up taking most of them for debt from her expenses and to give money to the son of the dad she saved. So that way he can live well before he comes to her. She's really annoyed because I think she ends up with, like, 2 diamonds or something, like 1 or 2. It's like,
yeah, I think she ends up with 2 because I remember thinking, I wonder if he's gonna make earrings.
Maybe. Yeah, she's annoyed as fuck.
Yeah, but she's like, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, she's living in such a fancy hotel and she's got such a nice wardrobe.
Yeah,
and
but
she always looks so
it sounds
great,
like she has a spending problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dad gets the money and realizes he didn't dream what happened to him.
Uh-oh.
So he like owns up to his son, and
I was surprised by that.
yeah, me too.
I thought he was just gonna hide it.
And then his son was gonna be like, "What happened?"
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, I thought that was like that was surprising.
Yeah.
So he tells us what happened, and he's like, "But I can't sell you because I'm trying to be a good dad now, so we need to return the money." But then they can't find the hotel. But IU and the manager drive by because like they don't know who each other are, whatever. And she looks very interested and tells the manager to send the boy flowers every year on his birthday so they don't forget the promise. Dang.
All right.
So then we flash forward to 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We had to see the boy as he was young.
Yes. And his father's demise.
Yes.
Bad choices.
Uh-huh. So, 2019, the boy, his name is Gu Chan-sung, is grown now and gets hired at a fancy hotel. We learn that he was avoiding Korea for a while on his dad's request, and he ends up getting his birthday present anyway. Mm-hmm. So if we remember, he was gonna be like taken to the hotel and basically be IU's not slave, but IU would own him after 20 years. So it's been 21 years. So this is where we're at on the timeline. So he ends up getting his birthday present anyway, and the card on his bouquet of flowers says that he is now employed at the Hotel de Luna and gives him an address. He freaks out and throws the gift in a trash can at the subway station, but he ends up meeting IU in an empty subway car, and he asks if she's the one who bought him. So I kind of went through that whole thing kind of quickly, but...
it makes sense, though.
Okay, good. Yeah, so, like, this kid, Gu Chan-sung, he seems to have grown up very well. Like, he has had fancy jobs.
His life changed.
Yeah.
Basically.
And, like, it looks like he's doing very well for himself, and he does not want to be employed at the Hotel de Luna. And like throughout the series, or throughout these 2 episodes, he keeps like making comments about like how he went to Harvard and how like Forbes named him one of like the best people in the hotel business and blah blah blah. So anyway,
he's fancy.
Yeah. So Jung Man-wol, I think that's how you would say it, is IU's character's name. They discuss how he's been avoiding her. She tells him she let him go a year later. So, like, she extended the timeline, but now he has to come work for her. He refuses, and then she gets all up in his face after they fight a bit and blows into his face. She tells him she's giving him a very special gift, and then she lets him off the train.
I thought she was giving him a disease to kill him.
You're like, she's gonna kill everybody.
If you don't want to work for me, I'm just gonna kill you, and then you're stuck with me. But it doesn't seem like that's what she did.
No.
So Chan Song gets off the train and he starts freaking out. He remembers a flashback of his father in the hospital telling him to run if he ever meets the woman. He goes back to his hotel, immediately starts packing to leave, but he starts to feel disoriented, and he's like grabbing his eyes and just like, oh,
and
they're all like blurry and fucked.
The tinnitus thing.
Yeah,
where his ears are kind of ringing.
Yeah, it's all fucked. And then he sees a ghost, and we see, how do you say her name?
I think Man-wol.
Man-wol, talking to the manager about giving him the gift without telling him. Because she didn't say, like, you're going to be able to see ghosts now. You're welcome. She just, like, blew in his face and didn't say anything. Then we cut back to Chan-seong, and he's seeing a ghost with no eyes. She's got some, like, fancy sunglasses on. She takes them off. She ain't got no eyeballs.
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah. And obviously, he freaks out. He ends up running around the whole neighborhood, and Jung Man-wol messes with him, and as he's running around, but it's a full moon, and the ghost keeps following him, and she's like flailing her arms trying to find him. It's like playing Marco Polo.
Yeah.
Man-wol, am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay. Man-wol ends up helping him out and distracting the ghost, like she throws a rock to the other side. And then she tells him the gift of seeing ghosts will follow him forever and ever and ever, and forces him to get food with her. And she's very demanding. She's really chill at the restaurant, though, and Chanseong is still upset and shocked at the whole thing. Like, I can fucking see ghosts. I don't want to see ghosts. Oh, why did you do this to me? And she keeps saying it's like a birthday gift or whatever. And at some point, as they're eating, the old mayor from before, who Manuel shot, sees them from outside as he's, like, doing his shit out there. Because he's, like, he's now homeless. He's all fucked. Living on the streets. He's goddamn wreck.
Yeah, his teeth are nasty.
Yeah, he looks like Toothless now. now that you said it. Thinking of him like that, yes, definitely. So, he's, like, watching, and he's like, that's the one that shot me. He's fucking pissed. It's insane. And this whole time, they're inside enjoying dinner. Well, she's enjoying dinner. And they talk about ghosts and what they look like. And he asks if she's human or not. And she says she's not dead yet. She is just here. Whatever that means.
Very confusing. Also, I love, like, while they're eating, she, like, sees a poster of this, I guess, famous Korean chef. And she's like, yes, he can eat 5 dumplings at once. He's amazing. And she keeps, like, taking a picture.
By the way, those dumplings looked really good.
I know.
They were huge. They were, like, as big as her head.
I know. Because she's very small.
Small. She's got a small face.
Like Bongsu.
Yeah. They looked really good, though. And I looked at Andrew and I was like, damn, those look good. I want some.
They sell, they're not technically dumplings, I don't think, but they're like little, I guess, I don't know what they're technically called. But at the Korean market, sometimes they just have them, like, in a little, like, carousel thingy, like, you know how, whatever, I guess, I don't know what you would call that either. Essentially, they were just, like, being kept warm, on the spinning thing at the Korean market during lunchtime. And they have, like, pork and kimchi and just vegetable-flavored ones, and they're really good.
I've been wanting to go to the Korean market, but I don't live in Little Korea like you. So I never go over there.
Next time you come over, we can go to the Korean market together.
I keep telling Andrew, like, we need to go and get us stuff.
Have you been to the other one down the road?
I don't think so.
We should go to that one. That one's, like, not as clean. But they have more, like, home stuff.
Okay,
and, like, other things, so.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
They're walking down the street.
Yes. So. Just kidding. Okay. So, they're walking down the street, and after dinner, and she tells Chansung to go buy her tea, and he does, because she's scary. And he does what he's told. And the old mayor guy confronts her. She tells him he is suffering for his sins now, and that the afterlife will be worse for him. He ends up stabbing her with, like, a shiv slash... I couldn't tell if it was, like, a piece of, like, rebar.
Yeah,
or if it was, like,
either.
Like, wood.
It looked like it was a metal something.
Like, yeah, like, ground down to a point or something. Yeah. But anyway, he ends up stabbing her with a makeshift shiv-looking thing. Chanseong sees, and he freaks out, understandably. She tells him that she will give him a chance to leave for good now, because she's, like, just slumped over by the light post thing.
It's a nice, like, lighting setting.
Yeah.
With the light just directly on her.
Yeah. And, yeah, so she gives him a chance to leave for good now. If he leaves and, like, never comes back, she won't go after him. And he stares at her, but he runs away, but then comes back with a cart to save her. So he, like, has a little hand cart. I guess he was gonna, like, put her in and wheel her away somewhere. But then I was thinking, like, dude, she's tiny. You gonna just, like, pick her up?
Well, he says at one point that, like, he's not strong enough.
Oh, okay.
To pick her up. And it's probably, like, also because he seems super privileged now and, like, he can do no work. He can do no manual labor.
That's true.
He doesn't lift things. His hands are probably, like, real soft.
Yeah. Very true. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so, she gets up on her own and tells him that his weak heart pleases her, which is kind of creepy. but I really like her. Anyway, she controls the shiv thing that the homeless mayor stabbed her with and sends it flying to stab him back, and he turns to dust. Ugh.
Which reminded me of Andrew, because Andrew used to work at this call center in San Marcos. I don't know if you remember that.
Briefly.
But yeah, he just, like, had to call people and, like, ask if they were willing to do, like, a dumbass survey about stuff, you know, whatever. And, like, sometimes he said people were really nice, and other times they were just total fucking complete assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said one time he called, and it was, like, some older man that answered, and the man, like, yelled at him, but the man was just like, ugh. And Andrew was like, this fucking old man, like, yelled at me, and then he just turned to dust. And the phone call ended. And I always think of that, like, when I see a movie or something, or, like, there's just, like, dust flying, I'm like, there's that old man.
Kristen Andrew. So the old man turns to dust. She tells Chansung that he has now lost the chance to run away and is now hers. And if he tries to leave, she'll kill him. End of episode.
Yep.
That was, like, a pretty confusing but intriguing first episode of a drama.
Fun and fast-paced and a lot of interesting things happening.
I feel like it was more fast-paced than most first episodes of dramas. Mm-hmm. Because I think the thing that they didn't do, that a lot of first episodes of dramas do, is, like, they didn't really introduce any of the characters.
Yeah, they just started it.
Yeah, like, we kind of got the boys' background, but only briefly. We basically got the setup of their deal, and that the boy is a good boy, and that IU's character is very complex.
Yes, we don't really know much about her. Like, we saw that intro stuff, but it's still confusing as to, like,
what her situation
is she or is she not dead, or, like, what the fuck happened,
and, like, why she's there. Mm-hmm. And then we can kind of glean that, like, everybody else is ghosts, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
basically,
the crew of characters looks interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start episode 2?
Sure. All right. So, episode 2 starts with a few minutes before episode 1 ends, as usual. Mm-hmm. So the homeless mayor has turned to dust as he gets stabbed, and Manuel is telling Chansung that he can no longer run away or she'll kill him. He asks if she killed the old man from earlier and gets upset. And he runs away to find him, but he just finds a pile of dust / dirt where the body was.
It's all, like, black on the wall, too.
Yeah, and, like, it kind of comes to life again, and, like, a hand pops out and grabs his shoe. And he's like, ugh. Mm-hmm. And it takes a shoe. It turns out, according to Manuel, that the homeless dude was actually a vengeful spirit, which we learned about in Along with the Gods. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. According to Along with the Gods lore, a vengeful spirit is a spirit who basically wants to take extreme revenge, or is, like, so unpleased with someone who is still on Earth that they, like, roam
the Earth. They can't leave.
Yeah, that they can't leave, and, like, if they have to be destroyed, basically. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't get to go to the afterlife. They're
supposed to be burned?
Yeah, they're destroyed. I guess I didn't have to burn him, though. She just shipped him. Yeah. So they talk more about vengeful spirits and scary ghosts, and she tells him that he has nothing to be afraid of if he sticks by her. They go shopping for new shoes, since the vengeful spirit grabbed his shoe off earlier, and she basically makes it seem like, you shouldn't put that shoe back on.
Yeah, that spirit touched it.
Yeah, like, she basically makes it seem like it's cursed or something. Mm-hmm. But we get to the store, and she's like, no, the shoe was fine. I just didn't want you to bring it because it looked like shit. I like that she kept calling the brown shoes shit-colored shoes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I thought that was really funny. So she makes them buy flashy black and white, like, brogue looking. They almost look like 1930s, like,
yes, absolutely,
whatever, jazz musician shoes or something. And he's, like, all annoyed because they are not his style. She tells him to come to work tomorrow, wearing the shoes, and he asks what he'll be doing. She tells him he'll help the ghosts with their requests before they pass on.
Sounds fun. Mm-hmm. We see a man at this point die from a car accident, and then him taking a car to heaven, and we see souls crossing the bridge to the afterlife over the, quote, river of death. and it's just like a bunch of people walking. And then at one point, when it like the camera zoomed back, there was a man in a firefighter outfit, and both Andrew and I were like, "It's him from Along with the Gods! It's that guy!"
A crossover.
Andrew was like, "Every K-drama and movie is in the same world," and I was like, "Yeah, Seoul. It's all in Seoul.
They're all in Seoul or Busan,
and all like the same time." Yeah. So this is all happening, and then Manuel explains that most souls cross the bridge, but some souls get lost in water. The guests at the hotel are the souls that have lost their way. She tells him to go to the hotel with her, and he'll be safe, but the most dangerous thing in the world will be running away again. And he's like, whatever.
Yeah. He does not take her seriously.
Yeah, which, like, how could you not? I don't get it.
Yeah, Alex kept getting annoyed with him because he's like, yeah, just listen to her and stop being afraid of the ghosts. Because he kept getting annoyed that Chansong would be afraid of the ghost, the woman with the glasses. And he's like, you already know she's going to be there. Why are you afraid of her?
Just don't talk to her. She tells him to go back to work on the number 4 subway line. And he asks what side she's on. Is she alive or is she a vengeful spirit? And this upsets her, or it seems to. He gets scared when the ghost from earlier appears, like we said, and she tells him it's good he's learned to shut his mouth.
So I don't know if you know like the significance of this, but from my understanding, the number 4 is like really unlucky in Korea because I think so in Korea they have like 2 sets of numbers, and I don't know the distinction between the two, but one of the 4s sounds very similar to the word death.
Okay.
And so they consider 4 to be an unlucky number.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So, back at the hotel, Manuel looks at the tree and wonders whether it's alive or dead and what she is. So, at this point, we kind of realize, like, she is also kind of in limbo and doesn't really know, what is going on with her life. And she's been alive for a very long time. Or not alive. Whatever.
Yeah.
The manager tells her that it's alive as it contains her spirit. And she's about to go drink champagne when she gets notified that a special guest is coming. So in between these scenes, we also see a girl and her mom feeding kittens. And Alex looked up and he was like, oh, kittens.
That's how Andrew and I were too. We were like, kittens!
Yeah. So cute. So the little girl wanders off when she sees a tiger. And then we realize that the tiger is actually a spirit without a body. Manuel gets mad at the bellboy for not greeting the tiger properly since it didn't go into the hotel. And he's like...
The poor workers at this hotel are always getting yelled at.
Yeah.
By the way. Like, they seem like a lot of fun, and they seem really sweet, and they're always just getting shit from her.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to see their backstories because it seems like they really don't want to go to the afterlife.
Yeah, for some reason.
And I'm like, why? What'd you do? What happened?
Who do you not want to see?
Yeah. But yeah, the guy, he's like really goofy, and he's like, I didn't know how to bring a tiger in. But apparently, that guy, the bellboy, is a K-pop or like K-rap. I don't know. He's from Block B, which I have not listened to before. Okay. But he's a music somebody. Blip, blip, blip. Oh. So Chansong is back at his friend's place that he's staying with, and is upset that he still sees the eyeless ghost. Again, Alex is annoyed with that. He thinks back to calling her a vengeful spirit, IU a vengeful spirit, and how like that upset her, and he seems confused and, also upset. But then gets scared by the ghost again.
The next day, he shows up to the hotel, and the bellboy meets him and brings him to Manuel, the boss, and keeps calling Chen Song the manager. And he's like, I'm not the manager. I don't work here. They talk more in the lobby of the floor where Manuel is, and the old manager brings him to Manuel. Chan Song pokes him, and I think he's like checking, like, are you a ghost? And the guy is like, nah, I'm human. Like, I'm the only human here now besides you. And it's interesting because he's like, I've worked here for 30 years, and I'm the only one that has aged. Everyone else here has stayed the same. I was like, that's fucking weird.
I like seeing all the pictures of Manuel, like, throughout the different eras.
It's very interesting. Manuel comes out, and she and Chan Song fight about the shoes because he's not wearing them, and him working at the hotel, which just seems to be happening every scene with them. And he can't believe it's an actual hotel. He asks what they do at the hotel, and she tells him it's for, quote, healing. Some ghosts need healing before they are ready to pass on to the afterlife. He offers her money to pay back what they gave him with interest, because in the beginning she paid for his like well-being in life to have a really good 20 years.
Yeah, I think she basically gave them what seems to be like $150,000.
Nice.
That math could be wrong, but I just got a quick glimpse of how much, and it seemed to be quite a bit of money.
Yeah, so he offers to pay that back with interest. She takes it, and she basically says like, wow, you're doing well for yourself. I'll take this because you offered it. Which I thought was really funny. He tries to leave because he's like, oh, okay, I can go. But she's going to walk out with him, and he's like, I don't want to go anywhere with you. And she's like, oh, you don't? Okay, go ahead. So he walks out and then realizes like, oh, I'm in a fucking like scary-ass hallway by myself, and this place is massive. With
a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah, which he doesn't see at first, but then he gets to, like, the elevator, and a little girl's like, 3, please. And he's, like, is about to press it and freaks out, and then he sees, like, this long arm coming down, and she's up at the ceiling. I don't know how she died, or what the fuck she's doing up there, or how her arm can stretch like that. But she just, like, giggles at him, and he starts screaming, and he runs back. Blah, blah, blah. A ghost and the manager talk about Chen Song, and the ghost is worried that he's too weak. But the old manager thinks he'll be fine since he doesn't seem to be afraid of Manuel. And the ghost says he would be afraid if he found out why she's the owner of the hotel. And among all of the ghosts, she's the most scary.
Ooh, what does she do?
I don't know. I mean, she's mean.
Yeah.
And at one point, I don't know if you had this in here or when this happened, but at one point she's like, being mean to the bellhop guy, and he says like, oh, but like, I'm lucky, like, I brought the boy to you. I ended up doing that like years ago or whatever. And she's like, you're so lucky you died young.
Yeah.
And then she walks away, and
he's
he's like,
you're mean.
She's so mean. But like with a smile. So funny.
Yeah, I thought that was a funny line. You're so lucky you died young. Yeah. So Manuel and Chen Seung leave in a super nice convertible. Alex is like, they're not Kias, they're Jaguars.
Oh my god. Alex and his cars.
I know. He always comments like, oh, this one's sponsored by Audi.
That's funny.
Oh, this one's sponsored by Maserati.
Oh my god.
So they leave in a super nice Jag, apparently. They talk more about the hotel, and Chan Sung seems a little more interested, but is still putting up a fight. Because again, like, he had his whole life, you know,
he just got a new job.
She tells him that they are going to catch a tiger, and they end up at a museum or some kind of, like, lobby thing, and they see that the tiger has been stuffed as the last tiger on the peninsula, and she looks super depressed after seeing the stuffed tiger. So, yeah, I think she makes a comment like, they basically, like, they made you look like you were alive and not letting you rest in peace and stuff like that. So, yeah. Poor thing.
Yeah. We cut to CEO's bedroom, and he has a nightmare in which the tiger attacks him. Manuel and Chan Seung go to a red bean porridge restaurant, and they talk a little bit more about the tiger, but he ends up begging her to fix his eyes since he still needs to go back to his actual job, and he doesn't want to see ghosts anymore. He asks if he has to live with the eyeless ghost forever, and she tells him to bring her to the hotel so she can rest and take a bus to the afterlife. She didn't have as good of a life as the policewoman, I guess. Doesn't get a limo.
Well, I think she makes a comment saying like, but if she lived a good life, we'll get her a car. But I like how he's like, why are we here at the red bean porridge restaurant? She's like, well, obviously I thought of red bean porridge after seeing the tiger or whatever. And he's like, you just wanted to eat this. Like, the two things have like no connection to each other.
We cut to the hotel, and they are seeing off one of the guests from earlier to heaven. The Grim Reaper / Guardian talks to the old manager about his retirement and basically says, like, you ain't got much time, yo.
Yeah, because I think the manager's like, yeah, I'm going to try to enjoy fishing. And he's like
sure, Jan. And the old manager's like, is it almost my time? And he just kind of looks at him and is like, no, like, I like that manager.
Yeah, I know. He's like, I have to get some things in order.
I already liked his character.
I
like,
know.
God damn it.
Sweet old man. So, Chensong and Manuel go to a different restaurant, cafe thing, and he continues to tell her why he shouldn't work for the hotel. She tells him the only place besides working at her hotel is being a shaman, since he's surrounded by ghosts. And he tells her that over time he'll be able to ignore them and live his life. She challenges him, basically saying, like, you won't be able to ignore them. And so she puts out a candle with her fingers and tells him to go pick up the coffee from the bar. And if he doesn't spill a single drop of coffee on the way back, she'll acknowledge him. On the way back, he sees a bunch of, like, really scary ghosts, almost like zombies.
Yeah, a lot of them look like zombies.
Yeah, and they get, like, all up in his face, and he succeeds.
Barely.
But she gets, like, really annoyed and walks away. The ghost...
Didn't acknowledge him.
Yeah, no. The ghosts and the old manager talk about his retirement and the new manager, and they worry about Manuel's temper. She comes in and throws a fit about Chensong being on the Forbes list that he keeps bragging about himself. And she dismisses the old manager, saying she hired a new human to take his place, while Chensong tries to work while seeing the ghosts.
Chensong goes to work and tries to ignore the ghost, but ultimately can't, and ends up jumping in the pool in front of his boss and a VIP client. It's really awkward. It's the eyeless girl again, and he's afraid to make a sound, and the only thing he can think of is just falling in the water.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I know. Alex was like, that's the move you're going with.
And not only that, but, like, he spreads his arm out. Like, it doesn't even look like it was an accident.
No,
it looks like he just fucking lost his mind.
Yeah.
And fell into the pool, like, threw his body in, versus, like, pretending to trip.
Yeah.
To fall in, which is what I would maybe do if I was in that situation.
Or just being like, oh, I have to take a phone call and running away or something.
BRB.
Yeah.
So Manuel goes up to him and laughs at him. She sees the brochure of The Last Tiger, and they go to the chairman's house, the one that took the tiger initially. They go in under the pretense that he is visiting from the company and she is his wife. While in the house, they see a super expensive painting, and Manuel basically makes the room explode. But the tiger wants to stay. She made it explode so he can leave, and he doesn't.
So they go to a sashimi restaurant, again, because I guess Manuel likes to go out and eat. And she explains that the tiger wants to stay until the chairman dies, and the tiger is making the chairman sick. Chensong tells her that if the tiger is making the chairman sick, then they need to catch it. And she tells Chensong to tell the chairman that they can get rid of the tiger for a price. She wants the painting. Chensong gets super upset when he realizes that the hotel's income is based on them extorting money from humans to get rid of the ghosts that are bothering them. And he yells at her, basically calling her immoral, and tells her that their deal is off and he's going to live a normal life. And so I think I kind of skipped over this, but the CEO explained to them that he got both the tiger and the painting as a gift from someone in North Korea.
Yes,
and
like a famous painter or something.
Yeah, and I think the tiger was alive when they gave it to him, but like it wouldn't breed, and it got like really depressed, and it died, and so they stuffed it when it died.
Cool.
Yeah, super sad.
He meets the old manager at his house, and they talk about his time at the hotel. They meet at Chensong's house.
Well,
his friends, yeah. And the old manager tells him that he can't judge the boss based on human standards. He tells him that even though he might hate it now, if he has courage, he may eventually find value in the place. And, like, isn't it kind of exciting to, like, have this secret that no one else has or whatever?
Yeah, he's like, you have, like, a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, take it. Is it
Chensong?
God. Now that it's in initials, I can't remember. No, it's okay. I'm just not used to the names. Chensong, his friend, comes out and asks, what is he doing by himself? And then we realize that the old manager is a ghost now because he already died so quickly. And he's, like, talking to himself, essentially. Like, his friend's like, the fuck? Like, he's lonely. This is what happens when you're lonely. And as he's kind of fading away, he tells him that he will get to experience a whole new world through this job. And again, basically saying, like, you should take it. Mm-hmm. Manager No, is that how you say it?
I think so.
No?
Or No.
No, who is the old manager, goes back to the hotel, now as a guest. He has a meaningful conversation with Manuel, and she hints at feeling bad about not letting him live a normal life. And he tells her that he lived an extraordinary life at the hotel, and how he has seen her as a sister, daughter, and granddaughter, and he feels okay leaving her now that he has a replacement. They have a sweet little goodbye, and he hints at her being able to start her life again. And then he takes a car to the afterlife, and she stays staring at the tree that holds her soul.
Yeah, that tree means something.
Mm-hmm.
Chan Song goes to visit the chairman. He tells Chan Song that Manuel already came by and took the painting. Chan Song realizes that the tiger and the painting were a set, and then we see Manuel call the tiger out. She tells the tiger that the place it seeks no longer exists, but it can rest in peace, and the tiger goes into the painting. So basically the tiger wanted to go home, and the painting was a painting of
his home.
So
yeah.
Very poetic. I don't know. Beautiful. But sad. Chan Song finds the ghost without the eyes and takes her to the hotel. He tells her that she should think about being able to see, and then her eyes come back. So basically he's like, you're not alive anymore. Like, things can be different now. Like, maybe think about trying to see. Which I kind of feel like, are you mansplaining seeing?
Well, I was confused because it was like, well, if she was just blind, like, the fuck happened to her eyes in the afterlife that they're, like, gone completely?
Yeah, I don't know,
like,
how that
like, she would
works.
just be, like, blind still, but still have her eyes,
like
not,
cataracts.
like, gouged out.
Yeah.
And I told Andrew, like, I wonder if, what's-her-face, like, had her appear that way to scare him even more or something. Because it seemed like the ghosts in the cafe or whatever were, like, extra scary just towards him instead of just, like, wandering around, living their fucking ghost lives. Instead, they were, like, up in his face, like, trying to purposely scare him and freak him out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because part of me thinks, because she makes a comment like, oh, it sucks, the first ghost you see was kind of a scary one. Because she also made a comment earlier about how, telling the old manager, like, I don't want to see any gross-looking ones. Like...
She's like, what the fuck happened to her eyes, though?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Who took her eyeballs out of her head?
Maybe it's one of those things where maybe she got into, like, a weird accident. And because some people just don't have eyeballs.
Yeah. But these look like they were, like, cut out or something.
Yeah, but I was thinking maybe now that she's, like, in her blue makeup, like, the fact that they, like, painted her.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It
just seemed weird. It just seemed weird. I know, it's not that big of a deal. We probably won't see her again, but...
It is weird. I would like to know
I just kept thinking,
her story.
Like, who the fuck murdered her and pulled her eyes out of her head? But apparently that did not happen. It seems like she was just blind. Whatever.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Next day.
Yes. So, she checks into the hotel. The next day, he goes to work with his fancy shoes on, but then sees a scary ghost thing in a suit of armor at his current hotel. Because you know how, like, in fancy hotel lobbies, they have bullshit?
A thing.
Yeah. So that wasn't there. Manuel sees his text. Oh, so he texts Manuel, basically saying, like, I hope you're doing well. Like, I talked to the chairman. Like, thanks for taking care of the tiger. Chan Song gets scared walking in the hotel at night, and he sees the suit of armor, and he realizes that it is a vengeful spirit, or a spirit that holds a deep grudge. The type that Manuel warned him could kill a person. He starts to run, but the spirit keeps trying to stab him with his sword. Manuel ends up showing up and saving Chan Song. She stabs the spirit again, and it fades away. She tells him the tiger made it safely, and tells him she came to forgive him in person. He thanks her and then passes out. We then see a flashback of Manuel talking about trees and building a house to someone, but we only see her. And this is, like, or I guess, before she became, like, a crazy soldier person. Then he wakes up at the hotel, and the bellboy comes in and gets him. He calls him the manager, and they walk through the lobby at night, and he sees the ghosts not being scary, but looking like people. Manuel comes down looking super elegant, like down the stairs, and then bam, end of episode. So
that's it.
Very exciting 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I have some predictions.
Okay, go for it. I don't have any.
No?
No.
Okay, I don't want to, like... I don't know. And I have seen nothing about the show. Like, I had seen a few things about Romance as a bonus book, but I haven't seen anything about Hotel de Luna.
Okay.
Other than people saying, like, it's really good. I feel, just based on my knowledge of K-dramas and past lives, I feel like maybe Chansung was somebody from her past life. Because...
like reincarnated.
Yeah, because this flashback... And I'm only thinking it because of this flashback.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell if he was dreaming it or if we were just seeing a flashback for no reason. But it seemed like he was dreaming it from the perspective of him being there listening to Manuel talking about building a house.
I can see that.
So I don't know if they were like past lovers or what. But I feel like he is from her past in some way.
Well, I'm sure a wound will be cleaned.
Yes.
I'm sure a wrist will be grabbed. We'll see.
What other trope is going to happen?
Yeah.
Speaking of, it was funny because just jumping ahead to other drama corner briefly. I'm a little over halfway through Rookie Historian Gu Hae-ryung, and we finally got the wound cleaning scene.
Nice.
It's really dumb too because it's like very small, and it's not between the 2 main leads because of course we have like a semi-love triangle. So it's the other guy who's not the main male lead cleaning the female lead's hand. But yeah, that one's pretty good. It's not perfect. It's kind of weird. I'm only halfway through, so who knows. But I will say, and I think I was gonna like tweet about this, but I can't tell if they're trying to do a love triangle or not. Because it kind of seems like, oh, well, these people have chemistry, and like the boy is definitely getting jealous that she's like, because the other guy's her coworker.
Okay.
And so the guy who's a prince is like getting jealous that she's like with him a lot. But I'm like, does he like her? Like, I don't know. It's kind of like a very weak love triangle, but anyway, it's on Netflix. I would recommend it. So, anyway,
cool.
Moving back to Hotel de Luna. Do we have anything else other than Before Fashion and I Love You?
Not really. I mean, if we go into fashion.
Fashion, turn to the left. Fashion, turn to the right. Fashion. Yes, God.
Okay, let's do fashion.
It's basically just everything. What's your face, warriors?
Yeah, I heard that the wardrobe budget was like crazy.
Really?
On this, yeah. And like there's I think it's an Instagram account that like basically shows like what clothes people were wearing in K-dramas. And like when this one was on, it was like, this dress was like $3,000. This shirt was like $400, and this skirt was like $700. Oh, but I also saw this funny video on Twitter, or maybe it was Instagram, I don't know. But it was of this drama, and apparently IU isn't very good at walking in heels. And so, or she like finds them really uncomfortable or whatever. And so, like, they show her like walking down the stairs and like doing a full body shot of her walking in the heels. And then when it's just a scene of like her talking to the other character, where it's just like from the torso up or whatever, just faces, she's just wearing like platform sandals.
So she's the same height. Yeah.
And I was like,
that's a good idea.
That's funny.
I don't like wearing heels either.
No. I mean, I like the way they look.
Yeah.
But,
meh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, specifically, I really liked her all-white outfit when she gets stabbed.
When she got stabbed, yeah.
And I like her last dress.
Mm-hmm.
And I like her purple dress.
Is that the outfit she wore when she shot the guy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that
I
one.
thought she looked kind of like a witch. Because she had her,
Mm-hmm.
like, black hat on. But it, like, a very chic
Yeah,
witch.
everything was real fancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we'll need a fashion award.
No, I'm pretty...
I don't see anyone
topping
coming
her.
anywhere near.
Well, because everybody else are ghosts.
Yeah, and they're like in the same fucking clothes, or they're like in hotel uniforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I will always love you.
I love you.
Mine is the scene between the old manager and IU. Or Manuel.
Yeah.
It was like kind of tender, and
Yeah.
because when he left the first time, she was like really cold towards him, and I think one of the other like ghosts that works there was like, I can't believe like
She didn't say anything.
she just dismissed him. Yeah, but they had like a nice
That's
little
just her
moment.
personality.
Yeah, and I mean, it seemed like she was kind of a bitch before the whole hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But I can only imagine after living for like 1,000 years or whatever, however many years she's lived / not lived, like, it can be grating to just be, yeah. So, I understand.
You understand as a person that's lived for thousands of years.
For 27 whole years.
Feels like eternity.
No, I mean, I'm just like super empathetic. I would tell Alex that I'm an empath, so I feel things.
Alright.
Yeah. So, do you have any others? It's very early. We like never really have I love you moments in the first.
Or like
few
predictions
episodes.
really either. It's hard.
Yeah, mine was
When you
just
don't like know the characters that well.
Yeah.
Just yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch 2 more eps.
Yeah, Alex's review so far is he said, this one's way better than that historian one. But, yeah, I guess going back to other drama corner, Alex's thoughts on Rookie Historian are that the prince, who is apparently one of the boys from Astro, which is a K-pop group, he said, his face is very symmetrical. And there's a scene where a woman is, like, telling this guy how attractive he is. Like, she doesn't realize that he's the prince. And she's like, oh my goodness, like, this face, like, your skin is so, like, bright and pale. Which is, like, colorist or whatever. Anyway, so he's like, she should have added that his face is really symmetrical. He commented about this boy's face being symmetrical, like, 3 times.
That's funny.
I know. And I was like, do you like him? And he was like...
Do you like symmetrical faces?
He was like, no. He's like, I mean, yes, he's attractive. He's like, but it's just weird. Like, his face is very symmetrical. I was like, okay. I think Alex has a crush on that boy.
That's alright. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy.
Egon's got things to say. I think Egon's been watching that drama.
Rookie Historian?
Yeah.
He's like, his face is symmetrical.
I tweeted about that.
Oh my god. Egon's Twitter would be
Fire.
wild. Also on Other Drama Corner, I still crazily have not watched Melting Me Softly, but I saw a very discouraging tweet saying that even though this person loved Ji Chang-wook, they don't know if they can handle the writing of the show.
Oh.
I was like, no!
Is it someone you trust that tweeted that, or just a rando?
It was a rando, but someone I trust liked the tweet. Well, I wouldn't say I trust. It's just someone I follow on Twitter. But, you know...
opinions you agree with?
Yeah, from time to time. But, like I think I've said earlier, I have very low standards for what I will watch. As long as it's entertaining and it's not, like, offensive, I'm pretty much game to watch it. So who knows? I mean, like, I've never stopped watching a drama. The only drama that I have not finished is Stranger, and that's because I got really confused, and I only watched the first episode, and I was like, that one's, like, about, like, kind of conspiracy theories and, like, corruption within the police, and I told Alex, like, I feel racist, but I cannot tell these, like, freaking middle-aged Korean men apart. Because they're, like, all in police uniforms, or, like, government suits. And I'm like,
who's who?
Who the fuck? Like, it's so confusing because you have, and I'm sure I would have gotten it later on, but I'm like, you have to know who these people are because they keep referring to them by name, like, well, does this person know this? Does this person know this? Who knows this? And who was there? And I'm like, this is overwhelming. So, that's the only drama I've not finished. But, yeah, I just don't stop. I just watch it. So it'll be fine.
I'm sure you'll get to it.
Yeah. I need to watch 100 Days My Prince. I need to watch that one. There's so many. I need to live my life. I need to go to work and make money. So,
Yes,
yeah. Anyway, do we have anything else to add?
Don't think so.
Okay. Well, talk to us on the internet. Let me know what you think of Rookie Historian and Melting Me Softly and Hotel de Luna.
Definitely that one.
Yes, that one mostly. But if you have those and the other opinions on dramas, let us know.
Okay Drama Podcast.
Instagram.
Yeah.
On Instagram and Facebook. Okay Drama Pod on Twitter. And all the links are in our show notes. Again, go check out Rebecca's podcast, K's for Drama. We were on her podcast last week.
She was on ours.
The
last ep.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. And if you want to send us an email, feel free. It is okdramapodcast@gmail.com. Yeah. So we will talk to you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, drama.